Hello and welcome to Aotearoa Armory's Weekly, your one-stop shop for all fab news here in New Zealand. This week we're going to be talking about cards, we're going to be talking about voting. We've also then got our normal Armory metas for both Silver Age and Classic constructed. And of course we've also got our weekend winners from the Skirmish for the weekend, as well as looking forward to what is coming up next here in New Zealand for Flesh and Blood. Starting off then with the news, and yes, we have got a bunch of new cards. Now, not only are we getting cards for the Lightning Wizard, Illusionist and Runeblade, but we are also getting the expansion slot cards. In there, we have got a card for Lyeth, because he now gets his weapon, which will be an Iron Claw Maul. It says, cost 2 attack, 1 damage, +1 if it has got base attack higher than its base, and when it hits, the crowd boos you. So let's generate those tokens, obviously, off the back of that one. So yes, his weapon is there, and of course, being only a 1 attack, that does mean that half round up means it's still 1. So his ability does not impact this one. Being Reviled Guardian, he is the only person that currently that can use it. So yes, it really is a unique weapon for him. Another hero that is getting a weapon is Betsy. Yes, her log has finally arrived. Now, unfortunately, it is a log and not a hammer, so that pummel will have to be put in the back pocket for something else. But this is a 4-cost attack for a 6 attack damage, and will also, or you get the option to wager gold as well. That means, yes, you can activate Betsy's ability off that, getting it +1 and overpower, so it can only be blocked by 1 action card. So yes, 2 blues for 7 overpower with a wager of gold, and that can be done every single turn. And then obviously the gold can be used for other things as well. So yes, finally she gets her log, and we'll just have to see. Does this suddenly make Betsy meta relevant? I doubt it, but more playable? Absolutely it does. So look out for some fun Betsy builds around the armories, I think, in the future. Brute also have got a card. If you intimidated this turn, this costs 3 less to play, and funny enough, it costs 3 to play. So this one becomes a free force, becomes 6 0 cost attack there with block 3. Yellow pitch 2 as well, makes Feral Instinct a real good card for your brutes. And for your assassins, well, they have got their way of dealing with allies, and so yes, sorry to your necromancers, or really to Gravy Bones. This one is a blue, 0 cost stealth attack. When this attacks, hero turns an ally in their graveyard face down. When this hits an ally, destroy that ally. Yes, it may do 1 damage, but once it hits that ally, it's dead. It doesn't really matter how much damage it does. So clearly there are a lot more other cards that have come out, but far too many for me, unfortunately, to go over in this show. But we will be putting together, or I will be putting together a preview show for Omens of the Prerelease. If you have got new players in your group, in your community, then I have already produced a beginner's guide to the Omens of the Third Age. So it doesn't talk about the cards, but it's about all the other stuff that goes on as part of a pre-release. I'll put links for that down in the show notes below if you would like to share that with any new players you have in your communities. Because the starter pack has also come out today with a really lovely majestic. We're going to be getting the each of the young heroes with their signature weapons in the pack, and we do have a macro that means that everybody starts with a lightning flow token, and lightning flow tokens can be discarded to prevent 1 damage. Also, we have a set of equipment which all looks very beautiful and all has the exact same power on all 4 of them, which is tap your hero, discard this to prevent 1 damage. So you can prevent up to 4 damage with the basic equipment that you get given as a part of the starter pack there. So really looking forward to it, and I say I'll be doing a preview of the Omens pre-release, including the starter pack as well, and which cards to look out for each hero once we've had all of the cards released. Voting for the Silver Age has been announced, and the voting will take place between May the 25th, start on May the 25th and close on May the 27th, New Zealand time, as if there's any other time that matters. Let's be honest there with that one. So the 3 heroes that gets the most votes will be benched, and then Legend Story Studios, or LSS, can then select up to 1 extra hero that they want benched as well. So we may have 3, we may have 4, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. To be eligible, you've got to have played a Silver Age tournament and to be allowed to vote, which makes sense that those people who are actually taking part in the event, or in the format, other ones get to decide what happens to the format. And also it'll be through gems, so hopefully that should stop anything like your old bots voting and silly things like that, other shenanigans like that going on. So voting will appear through your gem account. You'll have to select the drop down, choose the hero you wish to vote for, and when you've selected your choice, select vote, and your choice will be submitted. Do note you cannot change your vote once the vote has been made. Also, there's a lot of people online saying I'll vote for 3 different heroes, and the reality is actually, by the sounds of it, it looks like you vote for 1 hero, but 3 heroes get voted off. So you don't get to vote for your top 3, you get to vote for just your 1 by my reading of the announcement. So yep, we will see how which one goes. Obviously, there's lots of talk about Ira, Kano. The talk about KO has dropped off. Icelander also is being mentioned as well. So whilst the top 2 are known, and let's be honest, Briar has gone very well in our skirmishes, so maybe she'll be on there as well. So I think it's a clear cut as to which 3 of them they will be, but we will have to see how that is. Moving on then to the Armory metas, and starting off with Silver Age, and we have got only 4 armories were held in for Silver Age this week in New Zealand. Gateway Games, Hobby Lords, Palmerston North, Card Merchant Blenheim, and Gaming DNA. Bravo Flattering Showman ends up being the most. They're winning 2 of the armories. Vincent and Briar, they're picking up 1 each as well. Yes, Briar, who went well in the skirmishes last week, again going well actually in the armories as well for Silver Age. Looking on then to the Classic Constructed, and a lot more Classic Constructeds are being played around the area, around the country. Card Merchant Nelson, Valkyrie Games, Hobby Master, Card Merchant West City, Otakuna Mart in Pocono, Vagabond Takapuna, Card Merchant Takapuna, Hobby Lords Lower Hutt, Card Merchant New Plymouth, Gaming DNA, and Card Merchant Hamilton, all providing ones for this. As you can see there, Arachne Marionette leads the way quite clearly with 3.5 armories. Look, where we have 2 heroes ending on X and O, but they don't actually play off, I'll give each of them half an armory each. Now, the Arachne Marionette one, though, I do actually wonder whether the data is correct here, because we had one person winning 3 different armories with the same deck. So I'm not sure if you really can say that Arachne Marionette is that prevalent in the meta when it's one person getting all the wins. The new deck of Hala getting 2 wins as well. That's is really impressive for a new deck to come out the traps so quickly. She also picked up an armory last week as well, so proving to be a competitive deck very quickly, and that's even before we get Mastery Pack Warrior. Prism Victor and Max also picking up 1 each, and then Syndra, Dash.io, Jarl, Puffin and Riptide all picking up half wins as well there. So a really good mix of the meta after we get past Arachne, but as I say, that's just one deck doing the damage, and Hala there with those 2 wins as well. Moving on to then our weekend winners, and starting off down in the south in Card Merchant Dunedin, and Elijah Hula won on Ira. Unfortunately, disappeared before photos could be taken. So we do have a photo there of Michael Glover, who came second on Dromai. So congratulations to both of them. Alex McCullum won again on Bryce. That's picking up 2 skirmishes, 1 on each weekend, as he won last week as well. So congratulations to him. At Gateway Games, Braden took it out on KO. And finally, we have Ben, who was on Dorinthia, winning in West City as well. So across our 4 different skirmishes I've got the results for at the weekend, and we had 4 different heroes winning that. So I think that's a very good meta for my mind, a very nice diverse meta. Looking at the global stats then, and Ira clearly leading the way on 26, so we also had an Ira winner. But Icelander hasn't really been appearing in our local metas as a winner, and she came out second with 26 wins, or 11% of the vote. Also Kano, another one that hasn't appeared in the local meta, going well, and Oldham. So 3 out of the top 4 there, not really appearing in our meta. KO and Briar then bringing it up, who we have seen. Dorinthia all the way down there with just 2% and 5 wins. So interesting to see how our local meta is different to the global meta from that point of view, with say Icelander going particularly well. Icelander and Kano and Oldham all going well, but not appearing locally here in New Zealand. Coming up then, we have one more weekend of skirmishes, both of them in the North Island. We've got Hobby Master up in Auckland and Cerberus Games down in Wellington to round things out for this skirmish season. Also, then looking forwards, clearly eyes will turn to Calling Auckland, but before that, we do have the pre-release events for Omens of the Third Age from the 29th to the 31st of May. That is King's birthday weekend, so I'm a bit surprised that nothing is happening on the Monday, looking at least in the Upper North Island. Also on that Friday, the Ziggy Armory deck gets released as well, and there's been a lot of people being interested in playing them. So will Ziggy hit the ground running as quickly as Hala did as a brand new hero? We'll have to wait and see on that one. As I say, I think all eyes will be obviously wanting to play those new cards, but also looking at the following weekend with the Calling in Auckland. That following weekend after the pre-release. We are only 4 weeks away, and as I say, once we have got all of the cards announced for Omens of the Third Age, I will do a pre-release show or pre-release video looking at those cards and a guide to the pre-release. There already is a written guide for beginners to looking at sort of what to bring and what to expect from a pre-release if you've not played Sealed before, because let's be honest, the last one was last year with Super Slam, so anyone who has started since Super Slam will never have experienced one of these kind of events. If you enjoyed this, please do like, share and subscribe, all of those lovely things. I've been Paul, the guy who's on a fab journey. Please don't forget to let me know who has won your local armories for next week's Aotearoa Armories Weekly.